That. I'd like to first introduce Mayor Lee. He will begin to talk to us in greater detail about some of our initial proposals that we're going to be presenting to you today to address our public safety challenges that we've recently been experiencing here in the southeastern part of the city. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Supervisor Cohen, and I want to also express my appreciation for the other supervisors that are here and also have been engaged with us. Certainly Supervisor Loggy who's here, Supervisor Wiener who's here, and then last week Supervisors Avalos, Campos, and others, Supervisor Chu, Supervisor Kim, had all weighed in on an ongoing discussion about our neighborhood public safety. I also want to express my very deep appreciation for our city's clergy community, the Interfaith Council, and certainly my personal thanks for today, Pastor Brian and his church and his staff for welcoming us all here in this very integral part of our city, and all the other clergy that are here, as well as the NAACP, represented by Pastor Reverend Amos Brown and his staff, along with all of our other community agencies, from the police chief to our public safety clusters, our juvenile probation, adult probation, community-based agencies, our city administrator's office, and the number of community groups that have engaged me and my staff and all of the supervisors around this very serious question about our public safety in our city. No doubt, many of you have known and heard in the past couple of months my very deep concerns about our safety, particularly of our young kids, and particularly of our African American kids. Not everybody can be a Gabby or an Olympic hero in our center. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can participate in all the 5,000 jobs that Eric McDonald and I and Hydra and everybody are creating in the internship programs that are paid that we signaled this summer. Not everybody can be successful in everything that we do to try to set up those conditions for people to be successful. And there are some who unfortunately touch our juvenile and adult probation criminal justice system, our DA, our police, and we try to find ways to correct that path and to create supportive mechanisms. And we are rich in services in many ways, with interventions as much as we can to redirect our youth or to help victims and their families as best we can. Sometimes not perfectly, but the best we can to assist them in their recovery on these personal tragedies that we hear too often happening in our own communities. And so it was right for me to talk about this in a very deliberate way, to talk to other mayors across the country and ask them what they are doing, to find out what is working and what is not working, and then to bring back that conversation in a very direct way to our own communities here in San Francisco. And I know every person who are standing beside and behind me love our communities, love this city. They wouldn't be here unless they did. From the labor groups to the clergy groups to the community-based agencies, they really have a deep, deep love. And I know it. And I know that we've had these very sensitive discussions about these programs called Stop and Frisk that's been done in other parts of the country, and I had a chance to review them. Well, in agreement with our local leaders, in total agreement with the community-based agencies and the civil rights organizations that have had a very deliberate reason to engage me on this, we will not be implementing the Stop and Frisk program or variations of that. We do not wish to be distracted from the real reason we are here. We love our kids. We love our families in the Bayview, whether they're in Sunnydale or Alice Griffith or Churro Hill or in Pinyin or in the Mission. We love them so much that we have to do more to care for them. We have to find those solutions. too many stories that we're hearing from our clergy when it's too late. When we're having those individual funerals. When our parents and their brothers and sisters are crying over things that have already happened. Where the jobs that Mohammed and Eric are helping me create there didn't reach these unfortunate young kids. Where our police commissioners and our police chief, working in concert with adult probation, juvenile probation, didn't quite get the person who signed these papers, put their names to it saying, I won't go back to where I was found with the guns, or associate with those very known individuals that are participating in gang mentalities. They signed those papers, and yet within days, they're found. We're not reaching them. We're not penetrating those kids. We have to step it up. And this is why our supervisors and I have been talking very, very deliberately to come together with all of our community groups to forge our own San Francisco plan, as we are just as serious about trying to get to these individuals and prevent crime from happening and prevent their lives from being destroyed. You know, we created over 5,000 jobs this summer. You can't give jobs to dead kids. That's just the reality of it. No matter how often we try, these kids, if we don't get to them now, we don't prevent their truancy in middle school, if we don't redirect their interests in how to resolve a problem that they have, be it an individual case or some hatred or something that's going on in their lives. And this is why we're investing in a three-pronged approach today that we want to announce, a San Francisco-based program. The first, we are going to interrupt the patterns that we see out there. And I need everybody's help to interrupt these lives that are being wasted and going down, because right now, whatever we're doing is not good enough to interrupt these patterns. So while we interrupt, we've asked the police commission and police chief to work with adult and juvenile probation to do better predictive policing in our communities, to work with all of us in the community to take a look at all the data that we have, including anecdotal data, information that is given to us by people who are talking through their clergy or through their friends or through juvenile probation officers and others. Not to squeal, but to get better information so we can predict where the crimes will be connected again in a very specific way.
If there's less guns on the street, we're going to have less gun violence. I know some people will say, oh, well, the people that don't use the guns are the only ones that turn them in. It doesn't matter. Many of the guns that we come across are taken in burglaries and the like. We just can't have the guns on the street. By targeting particular neighborhoods where the violence is occurring and focusing on those individuals most likely to commit the violence and or become victims of it, we believe we can get out in front of this in the immediate right now. So that's the case for the interruption. We will be blocking it. We will be working closely. I see many of our friends from the district attorney's office here to vigorously prosecute those that are in commission of crimes, especially if you are on our list. We are one list you do not want to make. Okay?
I'd like to bring up to you one of our newest community partners. He's the pastor of this church. This is Pastor James Bryant. Joseph Bryant.
Thank you, Supervisor Cohen. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Calvary Hill Community Church. The space that you are standing in, the space that we are gathered in, is called The Rock. When we moved into this community, we wanted to have a space that would be designated for reaching our community and kids, R-O-C-K. And how symbolic and fitting it is for us to be gathered here as we applaud and affirm our mayor and his administration for his engaging mannerism over the past several months, as myself, along with several members of our faith community, have been the recipients of his encouragement, his open door, his open heart, and his open hands to listen to our voices as we have expressed the concerns of our community in and around safety and violence in the neighborhoods. Our mayor has heard the voices of the community, of the faith community, of the labor community, and of concerned citizens. And today we stand in junction with him, partnership with him, and commitment to our mayor and to this great city, that we will stand together to ensure the futures of our youth as we bring improvement of services through education, economic opportunities, employment, and all the things that make for a positive and a great city known as San Francisco. We are here today to ensure that all of those partners that stand together are unified as one. And in the spirit of our Rainbow Push leader, the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, we want to make sure that in San Francisco, for our youth and for our communities, we continue to keep hope alive. Thank you.
And part of keeping hope alive, we have to provide an economic engine to get our young people back to work so that they're able to take care of themselves and oftentimes their family. And with that, I'd like to bring up to introduce to you Mr. Eric McDonald. He's the Executive Director of the United Way. Thank you.
So good morning again, welcome everyone. We are excited and thrilled to be partnering here with the mayor. What's clear is that while the unfortunate rise and peak of gun violence brings us in the room, it also presents us what we believe is an enormous opportunity. These spikes are cycles that come and go, as Chief Sir referred to. And what we have now is an opportunity to cast a vision. We know that without a vision, people perish. And so that we can cast a vision and develop a resulting action plan that is based upon mutual respect, mutual trust, and mutual accountability. And so I'm pleased to have us partner with the mayor and all of our city partners to create that plan, where we will engage all sectors. We will engage residents, we will engage the private sector, certainly creating workforce and job development opportunities. We will engage our faith-based community, who are already providing tremendous leadership, and we will ensure that there is a coordinated, comprehensive plan that is sustained. Because the other thing that our communities have experienced, unfortunately, is a process that brings the city in, and then the city goes out, and then the city goes in, and that's nobody's intention, and yet it's the life cycle of the epidemic that confronts our community. Today we're saying we will commit ourselves to a sustained effort to ensure that we create a new vision, a new opportunity for our communities to thrive, so that in the end, there's opportunity for our young people, there's opportunity for our adults, and there's opportunities for our communities to thrive. And so finally, I'd say that the opportunity we have requires, I would offer, if I may be so bold, requires that everyone who claims to love San Francisco plays an active role in helping this plan sustain itself. It's not the city only, it's not the clergy only, it's not the nonprofits only, it's not the private sector only. It's residents, it's everyone playing a role. And I would challenge everyone in a very basic way. What are you doing today to be a part of the intervention, the interruption, and the opportunity for young people in particular to realize their potential? I believe today we can do it, and I'm honored to stand with the mayor, the supervisors, and all the city partners to help make this happen. Thank you so much.